Thank you. We're excited to be here. My name is Micah, and this is Lucas, and we are building a startup community right here in Tallahassee. Now, as we go along in this presentation, please tweet. We want you to be engaged. We want to hear your ideas. We want to hear your thoughts, inspiration, what have you. So do it to hashtag Talent Lives Here. So what is Domi? Domi is home. Domi is home to more than 80-plus entrepreneurs, all focused on the same thing, building a repeatable, scalable business model. And so at Domi, we've created an environment where we connect, where they can learn, and where people can grow. And kind of at the base of that and the foundation is some core values, and they're pretty simple. Collaboration, inspiration, teamwork, and my personal favorite is getting shit done, executing on those ideas, really putting to the pavement and doing the work. But we're a startup building startups, so if the need didn't exist here, Lucas and I wouldn't be doing this. Domi is built by the people that it serves, and we're built with purpose. That purpose is to foster talent. So in order for startups to be successful, in order for us to even have startups or do innovation, to create innovation, to disrupt business models and create a startup community in Tallahassee, we have to foster the talent. So at Domi, we're handling this in two ways. The first is community. So we're about almost 2 years in now, but we had a facility that recently went up late May, but we didn't start with a facility. We started with just a meetup group. So we wanted to make sure that there was a need. You know, are people really interested in starting companies here? Do they really want to have a startup community? Do they want to work together and collaborate? And so we started out with the meetup group at that 2-year mark, and 35 people came out to that first meeting. So I realized that there was a true need here, that people really wanted to see it happen. And so we worked out a relationship with public and private partnership with Leon County, and we have an 8,000 square foot warehouse facility down near Railroad Square in the old Amtrak station. It's an old warehouse. It's a very unique space to Tallahassee. Again, helping to pull and foster that talent. We need something unique, something very different. So those 80-plus entrepreneurs and others that come and get involved are in an environment where it's very collaborative. We have small offices, large offices. It's a place to get started. We have a bar. We have a cafe. We even have a ping pong table so I can take Lucas down from occasion. But it's a place where people can come together and really congregate. And it's great because it's organic, and we didn't build a community. You know, again, it was built by the people that we serve, and it was built by them. And I am really excited about the community that we have to this point and where it's going. But we also foster talent through education. And this is crucial. You know, talent really feeds off of education, knowledge, learning from other people. So we have a slew of mentors that have been there, have done that come from different backgrounds, whether it's marketing or software or what have you, have been on startups, have had exits, have been successful, from investors that want to invest in the community, both locally and outside. We have people that are giving back. You know, I coined the term, we have a front door approach. So when you walk in the door, you have everything that you need, and you can learn from people that have been there. So we do workshops, we have speaker series, we do 3D printing courses, we have development courses. We have people that we have a late night crew that's sitting in there working on new concepts and ideas, and it's great to see that organic piece happen, but these talented individuals that we have in the space are really pulling off of each other, pulling off that energy. And it's amazing to see some of the technology, some of the companies that are coming right out of Tallahassee. And the fact that we can do it here, the fact that we can create this, is fantastic.
The interesting part about this conversation about talent and education and community is that it matters to a lot more than just entrepreneurs. It matters to a lot more than just startups. It truly matters to every single person who calls Tallahassee home. You know, it matters to the people who are going to live in this city for decades to come. And that's because talent, in the same way that it builds startups, is also what builds cities. You know, the local economies of the future are not going to rely on the location decisions of large-scale corporations. They're going to rely on the location decisions of talented people who just want to find a great place to live and enter into a great community. People like you, people who are graduating soon from university, who are thinking as they graduate about where they want to live first. They're thinking about the lifestyle of that place, the amenities, and then also the economic opportunity. So our challenge and our charge as we build Domi and as you go out into the world is to create the kind of community in Tallahassee that people want to live in and that is also extremely difficult to leave. So how does that play out now? This here is the story of those location decisions and where people are living and when they're living there here in Tallahassee. It may not look like it, but this is the story of Tallahassee's economic past. It's the story of its economic present. And if we don't do anything to change it, it's also the story of its economic future. This is every single person that lives in Leon County, at least at the time of the 2010 census. So that includes you and me if you were here a few years ago. And what this diagram shows, with women on the left and men on the right, is different age cohorts, 5-year age groups broken down. And it shows the percent of the total population that's comprised by those different age groups. And so the story that it tells is two things. The first is that we have a young community, and that's something that everybody knows. It's dominated by 2 universities and a community college, who together in that 15 to 24-year-old age group make up over a quarter of our entire population. But the second thing that it tells us, if you look into the young professional ages from 25 to 34, is that a lot of people leave. On average, 27% of the people who graduate from university or community college in Tallahassee are retained. That may sound like a big number to some people, but it's actually a number that lags behind a lot of other communities across the country and many other vibrant college towns across the country. What's also interesting is a lot of those communities that have higher numbers also have vibrant startup communities. Places like Austin, Boston, places we've all heard about, and places, frankly, that a lot of us might even want to live. So our challenge is to move the needle and move that 27% a little bit higher in that age cohort of 25 to 34. And that matters not just for the short term, for the next couple of years, but for the long term. This young professional group, 25 to 34, is the most mobile age group in the country. They're more likely than any other age group to move across state lines in a given year. And again, that's a problem for us because a lot of people leave. But it's also an opportunity. The question is, how do we get on the radar of those people? How do we become a community where people want to live, want to hitch their trailer to, and want to build a future? At Domi, we believe that a startup community, a thriving startup community of people working together, is a core part of that answer. We believe that entrepreneurship creates opportunities that attract and retain talented people. And in that way, we believe that entrepreneurship is truly a force for community development. I have 2 great examples, one of attraction, one of retention. And again, it's about the people. This is Enrique. Enrique was born and raised in Georgia. He's a talented graphic designer. He designs mobile apps and websites, and everything that he does is bold and it's beautiful. He does great work. He went to an art institute in Atlanta, and he moved to Tallahassee a year or 2 after graduating from Atlanta because he had an opportunity to work with a startup. He now works for a different company, full-time, that's grown in the last year from 3 to 7 people and is moving into Midtown. That's an example of attraction. And when we talked to Enrique about why he moved here, he said that he felt like he didn't choose this place, Tallahassee chose him. And that's powerful. But Enrique's not alone. There's also people like Emily. Emily is an example of homegrown talent. She's a powerhouse software engineer that writes really clean code and ships really awesome products. If you have a great idea, her company can help build your prototype. Emily graduated from Florida State University last year with a degree in computer science. She's currently getting her master's as well. But after she graduated, she interviewed with a couple companies, flew out to California, companies you may have heard of like Apple and Google and Uber. But ultimately, she chose to stay here. She chose to stay here because she had the opportunity to work with the company and help build it from the ground up. And she saw the chance to leave her mark on this place in a way that she couldn't do in a different, larger community that's more saturated. And she told us that she's attracted to Tallahassee because it's a unique moment in its history with all the development along Gaines and things that we're seeing all across the community like Cascades Park. This city's becoming a wonderful place to live and a hard place to leave. And Emily believes that Tallahassee has, at this moment in time, just the right mix of passion and potential that makes her want to stay here. So people like Enrique and Emily, they've decided to build their lives here in part because of entrepreneurship and in part because of the opportunity that force has brought to the community. And their passion and their energy and their effort are going to shape this community for decades to come.
So join us. Build the community that you want to see. You don't have to move to Austin. You don't have to move to New York. We have a great cost of living. We have great people here. We're in between great cities. It's a killer climate. I'm from the cold, and I love it here. I'm a transplant, and I intend to stay. I'm dedicated to seeing this through and seeing something grow. So if you have ideas, reach out to people. Don't just tweet about it and say, well, I wish Tallahassee had this. Do it. Get out. Get involved. Reach out to us. We would love to get connected, so I hope a lot of you tweeted. And I just really encourage you just to really get out there and get connected, work with your leaders and what have you, and make things happen. Our talented staff created this phrase, get started. It's true. We try to live it every day and make things happen. So thank you very much for having us.